buckle up, because you're going for a ride. In case you've been living under a rock, welcome back to our Evil Dead Watch series. With Evil Dead Burn coming up in July, I am going through each and every Evil Dead movie right now. And today, we're talking about Army of Darkness. So strap in. In case you haven't watched the two movies that came before, which we have, you can check it out, you get a little Evil Dead Kai action going on here. Just to quickly recap what happened in the last two, and now we're on to bigger, brighter, and more medieval things. And for Army of Darkness, we pick up right after Evil Dead 2. So Ash is in 1300 AD now, and seeing his interaction...
This is my boomstick!
Man, I gotta use that one. Hell, he even swaps his saw hand for a medieval upgrade.
Groovy.
I died when the little Ash reflections attacked. I was like, yo, this is pure minion coded. This was like the epicenter of all of those shenanigans.
What a horrible nightmare.
And another thing, if I ever see you drinking tea or hot water straight from the kettle, then you do you, man. Honestly, you're not somebody to mess with. With Ash versus Ash, I thought, man, it'd really be you versus you out here. The greatest thing to take from these Evil Dead movies is that, sure, there's parts where it's stupid. Sure, there's parts where it can drag on for a little bit. But hey, the effects are in a league of their own here.
To this day!
People are still not able to push the boundaries of funny, crazy, stupid, and gory like Sam Raimi did. But like, who the hell is this dude? Since part of the deal is that Ash gets to go home if he brings back the Necronomicon, and because Ash is prone to doing something wrong, obviously he awakens the Army of the Dead.
You have to send me back. That was our part of the deal. You just said get the book and I'm on my way.
Oh, wait, but the girl, your love interest has been taken. You get a chance to get her back. Redemption arc. And at first, maybe I was being kind of rigid, but I didn't feel very into this, we're in 1300, after being kind of like isolated in those houses for the Evil Dead things that are going on. Nah, I think this medieval spin works really well for it because everybody's just kind of like, oh, you're gonna save us? Ha, ha, ha. Another shout out to the wonderful camera work of Sam Raimi. The Evil Dead army is really impressive because you get a lot of extras, you get a lot of animatronics, you got a lot of VFX and makeup, and it comes together really well. Sure, there are some parts where you know you're looking at an animatronic just moving around, but it's fine when you're looking at it quick. Yo, no one told me Mad Max makes a cameo here. So many times in this final act, I saw bones collapse and crunch into nothing, and all I could think about was... Also, because of this medieval setting, now I want medieval times with Evil Dead as a collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here when you want to talk business. So Ash becomes the prophesized being, like they said in Evil Dead 2, and he saves everyone. Victory is ours. He gets the girl, but he's got to go home. Back to his own time. That was the end of the bargain. But is the grass so lively in his own time? As I said before, maybe I was being a little too rigid, but the medieval setting was a little worrisome at first. But then, with the story, I grew into it. Bruce Campbell, no notes, just groovy. Here you are in for a medieval, fun, stupid, crazy, really cool effects and makeup that feel like they are way ahead of their time still. Therefore, Army of Darkness is getting a 3.5 out of 5. Our next installment has nothing to do with Ash Williams, in fact, and it's in 2013 and is just called Evil Dead. So we're on to that, which is crazy because I thought there were more of these movies. We have this, and then we have Evil Dead Rise, which is kind of surprising because I thought there would be more into this series, but there's a 3-season TV show called Ash vs. Evil Dead. If you want me to watch that, I will. But I probably won't be able to watch it all in the span that Evil Dead Burn comes out. But I'll do it if you ask me to. Out of the 3 Evil Dead movies, you have Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. Which of these 3 in Ash's story is your favorite? For me, it's still Evil Dead 2. I know it's like the cliche answer, but whatever cons that were in Evil Dead 1, they took that and they ran into Evil Dead 2. That's it for Army of Darkness. Gotta wonder if Evil Dead is gonna be just as groovy.